The metaphysics of Jainism is a seven-fold approach. These seven fundamentals offer a solution to the dilemmas of creation, birth, death, pleasure, pain, and offer a direct, clear path toward liberation from suffering. The seven fundamentals are as follows. First is the living soul, the center of the entire Jain philosophy. The soul is non-material, it is eternal, and it is a conscious substance. It has perfect perception, bliss, knowledge, and power. It is tasteless, formless, and self-sufficient. The soul is responsible for its actions and bears its own fruit. Non-living matter is a second fundamental. It travels with the soul from one body to another with its transmigration after death. The third fundamental is influx. It is the flow of matter. As worldly creatures, we are always engaged in some type of mental, verbal, or physical activity. Such activities create turbulence within the soul and attract karmic bodies into the soul. Here we will demonstrate the activity of overconsumption and fast fashion and the karmic influx that it brings into the soul. Along with influx is the fourth fundamental, bondage. Bondage depends on how intense the human activity is. The stronger the passion, anger, greed, violence, the stronger the bondage of the karma within the soul becomes. This determines the future of the soul in this world. In this video, we will analyze the influx and bondage that fast fashion and overconsumption may have on the soul of a human being, but we will also see the negative impact it causes on human beings, on our environment, on animals, and ultimately on ourselves. The fifth fundamental is prevention. The soul is a free agent and may refrain from all activities that invite influx into the soul. Prevention requires non-indulgence and exercising positive restraint on the mind. Some examples of preventative measures are having control over the mind, speech, and body, moving about carefully to avoid stepping on small creatures and avoid violence against them, practicing honesty, and practicing meditation and toleration. The sixth fundamental is separation, a way to separate matter from the soul through deliberate efforts in order to relieve the soul from karmic burdens. Separation will fasten the process to liberation of the soul. When pertaining to the body, one may separate by fasting, withdrawal of bodily pursuits, and toleration of body pain. When pertaining to the mind, one can practice humility, meditation, and repentance. Finally comes liberation. liberation, the seventh fundamental. It is attained when the soul becomes completely separate from matter. This is the goal of every living soul. Once liberation is attained, it no longer suffers, and it does not experience birth, death, or any form of transmigration. It can no longer be polluted by karmic bonds. There is also no distinction between the liberated souls. It is not like with a body, where we would be able to tell one person from another. All liberated souls are alike, which possess complete consciousness, perfect knowledge, and bliss. Overconsumption and fast fashion can be fought through recycling. Nearly 100% of textiles and clothing are recyclable. Synthetic clothing may take hundreds of years to decompose, so recycling these textiles is extremely important. When 15 plus million tons of used textile waste is generated in the US every single year. Recycling can be achieved through donations to the Goodwill, Salvation Army, or thrift stores in general. There are also amazing places like foster closets, which provide free clothing to foster youth and foster children all around the states. If you wish to reduce your fashion carbon footprint, there are many things you can do by shopping secondhand, following washing instructions so your clothes last longer, and washing your laundry on cold. Recycling textiles has a huge impact on the environment. 2 million tons of textiles are recycled each year in the United States. This is equivalent to removing 1 million cars from America's highways.